All right, we're back here live in Washington. Got some breaking news. I'm Brooke Baldwin. Jake Tapper just sat down next to me, host of The Lead, host of State of the Union. And let me just bring you right in. You have a letter in your hands from the director of the FBI in the wake of this reopening of this review of the emails regarding Hillary Clinton. Read the letter.
It's shocking news. It's from the director of the FBI to all the same Republican chairmen of the committees on the House and the Senate about the information that they've been looking at in Anthony Weiner's computer.
Right.
Okay, the headline is, we're sticking with our original assessment from July, the FBI director says.
Not criminal.
Which is that no criminal acts took place, although obviously he also said the way that Hillary Clinton and her staff handled the information was extremely careless. But the headline is, nothing new here has changed our conclusion. And I'll just read the letter.
Yeah, please do.
Dear Mr. Chairman, I write to supplement my October 28th, 2016 letter that notified you the FBI would be taking additional investigative steps with respect to former Secretary of State Clinton's use of a personal email server. Since my letter, the FBI investigative team has been working around the clock to process and review a large volume of emails from a device obtained in connection with an unrelated criminal investigation. We know that to be the investigation into Anthony Weiner. During that process, we reviewed all of the communication that were to or from Hillary Clinton while she was Secretary of State. Based on our review, we have not changed our conclusions that we expressed in July with respect to Secretary Clinton, that none of the acts were criminal. I am very grateful to the professionals at the FBI for doing an extraordinary amount of high-quality work in a short period of time. Sincerely yours, James Comey.
This is huge.
Yeah.
We were on the air. I remember it broke before my show 2 Fridays ago. Yep. The letter, 2 members of Congress, 2 leaders saying, you know what, we're going back and we're looking. She has been under huge criticism. Democrats have been furious with Comey, which has been a flip-flop from one we saw earlier in the summer. What influence? We are 2 days out. How will this impact what happens Tuesday?
It's really hard to say. I mean, first of all, 2 Fridays ago, the October 28th letter that James Comey is writing about, the race was already tightening, but it's hard to conclude anything other than the fact that it really hurt Secretary Clinton,
yeah.
That the cloud really hurt her. And I think a lot of Democrats believe that what it did is Republicans who were leaning towards Hillary Clinton, it drove them back into Donald Trump's camp, especially at a time when he has been, quote unquote, more disciplined with his message, sticking to the teleprompter, his phone having been wrenched away by Kellyanne Conway, so he's not doing these tweets in the middle of the night. This basically says, hey, remember that letter from
hey, never mind. Forget I said that.
Forget it. We're going back to what we said back in July.
But Tapper, I thought Comey wasn't going to say anything until later. We thought this would take so much longer. This whole reopening.
The guidance we got was that they were going to review the materials, but it might take weeks or months,
right,
until they reviewed all the materials. And obviously there was a cloud over Secretary Clinton's head here. What are they going to find? What are the new materials? And that cloud has certainly hurt her with voters. Now we have James Comey saying, we reviewed it, and our conclusion is the same, which is not to say that we didn't find anything new or that we didn't find anything that should have been inappropriately forwarded. It is just this conclusion we reached back then. We still believe the same thing. There is no prosecutor, no reasonable prosecutor that would take this case.